Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'll show you how to create a toast notification with Figma. This is a very cool interaction that you can use in your mobile and web designs to show response to certain user actions. So maybe a login prompt or whatever action, there are actions that you perform on websites and apps that you use currently that give you a toast notification, just like the one you are seeing on my screen. Yes, so and yes, we are going to learn how to create it in this video. And before we get started, I would like you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question at the end of the video or at any point in the video, you can let me know in the comments. Yeah, let's get started. All right, the way this is going to work is we are going to I've already created the two screens that we're going to use, and that's because I don't want to use a component. So usually I'm supposed to create this button as a component where this is one state and this is another state, but because I just want to use, for the sake of this video, I don't want it to be too long, I'm just using two screens. And you can also use two screens if you're not working on a large project. But if you're working on a large project that you have like multiple screens, like up to like 30-50 screens, you might have to, well, you don't necessarily still have to use the component, because this is only going to happen on the login screen, right? But if you want to use it on other screens, then you have to find a smarter way to do it. So this is the login screen, and the toast I want to bring out is this, right? This notification, incorrect email and password. So I want to assume that you know how to create this already, and if you don't know how to create it, we can quickly recreate it, right? So I'll type incorrect email or password. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this button to create the of this text to create the button dismiss. So this text is medium and size 14, and this is size 16. We are going to switch it to size 14 and to remain medium. Then I'll create an auto layout around it. So note that this frame or this container carrying the button and the text must be the same width with the size of the screen that you want to put it on. So if you want this if you want this close notification to pop up on this screen, then it has to be the same size. So this screen is, the width of this screen is what, 390. So I'm going to wrap these two inside an auto layout frame and give it 390 width, right? And I'll place it, because this one can be at the right. So let's see the padding that I used here. I used 27, then I used 51, 16. So that's to tell you that we have 27 on left and right, then we have 51 at the top and 16 at the bottom. So 51 and 16 like that. So this button is going to span to fill the screen. Then let's see the size of this button. This is 8, with the padding is 18 and 12. So we have 18 on the horizontal and 12 on the vertical. 18, then 12, right? So I'm going to round the corners of this button. I'm just going to use a corner radius of 999. Then I'm going to fill this with a color, this color actually. I'm going to fill it with this red color here. Then for this button, we're going to have white. I'm going to fill it with white. But now that white, I'm going to drop the opacity. I'm going to drop it really low to like 10% or 20%. I think that's good enough. So I can see that the height of that button is 47, even regardless of the padding. But I'm just trying to copy this actually, so nothing much. So this is also going to be 14 and medium or regular. Yeah, regular. Then let me see the gap. The gap is 12. So we're going to set this gap to 12. We currently have it on 59, so I switch it to 12. So that's it. Then we can now call this one toast. So I can call it toast. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this inside an auto layout, right? So that auto layout will be a replica of this frame. So it's going to have the same length and the same height. So I'm going to wrap this toast inside an auto layout that has the same height and width as the screen I'm going to put it on. But now it's not going to have any padding, zero padding, hug and hug. But I'm now going to extend this one to touch the bottom, the same length. So let me check the length of this. This is 844. So let's put 844 here. No, 844. Yeah. So so this one won't have a fill, right? So what we're trying to do is we're going to bring this on top of this page with the interaction that we want to add to this. So if you come over this page, although not this page technically, is this page. So I want to see that when you click this button, this thing should load, right? This one will load when you click the button. So that's what we want to do. We want to switch from this page to this page, then bring this one down, then come back to this page. So I hope you understand this. So after creating this, I think I'll just call it error. Then I'm now going to create 2 duplicates of this, right? So just like I said, this I'm supposed to use I'm supposed to create this as a component, right? But I don't want to use a component. I just want to show you. So this is also to let you know that you can also do it without component. Just the component makes things easy, and you can do it repeatedly across different screens with component. But this one is just for the sake of the video, so I'm not going to use a component. So this is just going to be an alternative to component. So if you want to use a component, all you have to do is after you finish doing the connection that I've done here, you just have to combine them into a component set. Then you'll be able to use one of them and it will still work the same way. So remember that these 3, they're inside auto layout. So what we want to do here is we want to hide this on the first and last. So I understand that 3 of them are named error. So maybe we should name them error 1, error 2, error 3. So current name. So using Ctrl R, you can do a bulk action of renaming frame layers. So I want to rename these 3 layers together at the same time because they both carry the same name. It's just the number that I want to change. So error 1 will come and replace error 2. So we have error 1, 2, 3. So they're the same, right? But the stages of this, for the toast to come from the top of the screen and go back, we need 3 screens. So I'm going to hide this and this, right, inside these 2 frames, inside error 1 and error 3. But before I do that, because this is an auto layout, we won't be able to do that, right? So we have to remove the auto layout first. This is an auto layout, so we have to remove the auto layout. So remove the auto layout for the 3 of them, or even better still, if you don't want to remove the auto layout, we can still use absolute positioning, which still works, but let's use frames for the sake of this video. So I'm going to click on the 3 of them and I'm going to clip content first, then I'm going to click on this first and third one, then I'll use my arrow key to just move the toast. I'll just move it up to an hidden position inside the frame, right? They are inside the frame but they are hidden. So these are the 3 frames that we need, 1, 2 and 3. So now the action we are trying to show is that when you click on login, we want this button to load, then give you an error that the password is incorrect, right? So I'll switch to prototype. The shortcut to switch to prototype is Shift E, and you can use Shift E to also switch back to design. So I'll come to prototype, I'll click on this button, then I'll connect this to this. So on click, that is the trigger. On click, and I want you to switch to this instantly. There's no smart animate here, just instantly. Just switch to this. And now this page, I want to connect an action to this page, that when you land on this page, or when the user lands on this page, or when the user starts seeing this button that is rolling, what we want to do is we want to bring in this error after some seconds, right? So I'm going to set this to after delay, and I'm going to open overlay, right? The action will be not to navigate to now, but to open overlay, and this overlay will be opened at the center. So because this is the same height as this, it will fit the way we want it to fit, right? Or better still, to fulfill righteousness, we can say top center, right? We're still going to work the same way. So now how do we want it to behave? Do we want it to come instantly or smart animate? Okay, I want it to come instantly, right? But now for this to come down and show itself here and go back up, we now need to connect these 3. So once this comes up, this is an empty screen. We want this to come in like this, right? So we want this to switch to this, so this will be after delay. So we can say 800. So let's switch the after delay of this one to, like, say 1200. Then let this one be 800. I still think 800 is too much, maybe 500. Then this is where we will now use smart animate, right? Then for the ease out, we don't need to use ease out, linear is good enough. Then I'm going to connect this also to this. I'll connect this to this, then I'll say smart animate linear and after delay. Now after this whole thing has happened, we want it to go back to this first screen. So this is what I'll do. I'll connect this last screen back to this one. So once I connect it back, I'm not going to set it on after delay again, right? So when we switch to this, yeah, we can still put it on after delay because we don't want to trigger it manually. But this time around, the time can be like say 100 milliseconds, and we can still come back to adjust this if it's not working the way we want it to look like. So smart animate, nope, we just want to change it to instant so that it won't look as if anything really changed. So now I think the whole connection is done, the prototype has been done. So all we have to do is to now preview this screen and see how it looks. So I use shift and space to open this small window. So if I click on login, what happens? Okay, so there's a small error because when I said open overlay, yeah, after delay, open overlay, it's supposed to show in a certain way, right? It's supposed to come in, not dissolve into the page. So let me see what is wrong here. Animation, the animation is instant. Yes, I want this to come. Yeah, okay, I think the animation is correct. I don't know why we got that error. Okay, so what I noticed is that I made a mistake while I was doing the animation here. So here, instead of saying navigate to while I was connecting this, it was supposed to be swap overlay because I want to swap these screens. So this is supposed to be swap overlay. So let's check it again. Okay, so now it works the way we want it to work, right? So sometimes you can make mistakes like this, and all you have to do is to go back to what you have connected or the prototyping you have done and check for the errors, troubleshoot it, and see where you made the mistake. So now, because I was in the dark screen, that was when I realized that I did not set this to swap overlay. I set it to navigate to. So when you say this thing should navigate, it basically changes the page, right? But if you say open overlay, is bringing that page on top of a current, or on top of the current page. And because I wanted to switch between these screens, I need to swap overlay, not navigate to. So it's only on the last step that I need to navigate back to this one. So if I click it and this thing loads, it comes down, it closes, and it takes me back to the login. And better still, we can still do, because that animation seemed too fast, so let us set this to maybe 500 to or 800, so that when this error shows, the user will have enough time to read it, so that it not just look like the error is flashing. Now it's even too fast because I could not even read anything there, so, and that's going to be a bad user experience. So let's set this to 1200 and see if it will be better. I click this again, shows incorrect email or password, so that's better, but it's still too fast. Let's set it to 15. Okay, much better. So another thing is we can also set this button to close the overlay. So if I want this thing to be closed manually and not go out of the screen by itself, I can just basically click this button. I'll come to interactions and click on plus, and the trigger will be on click, then the action will be to close overlay, right? That's what it will just do. So I can click on this, click this, and when the thing pops up, I click it, it closes it, right? So that's another thing. So, or if you want it to move up the way it will move up automatically, you can just simply connect it to this page. So you just connect it to this page and let it do the same thing. Connect it to this page, and yeah, set it on smart animate and linear, and let it do the same thing. So if I click this now and load this, you see it comes up. When I click it, oh, I didn't set it to swap overlay again. So you see that's another error. So swap overlay, that's the trigger. So when I click this, then yes, exactly. So when I click it, it goes back the way I want it to go, right? So that's basically it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video, of course. And if you have a question, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to respond to your questions. So that will be it for this week, and I will see you in the very next video.